aga, mayad nga agahon, coming to you live from the Hop Inn Hotel here in Iloilo City in the Philippines. I just finished my morning walk. Walked all the way to the Esplanade, actually, the Diversion Bridge. I filmed around the Diversion Bridge because in the morning there were a lot of hobby fishermen out on fishing on Iloilo River. I actually saw them catch tilapia and another type of freshwater fish. I can't tell what fish it was, but I filmed it earlier. And then I walked back to the hotel. I took a shower. I feel refreshed. Good start to the day. Good start to the day. You know me, I like to get up early in the morning. I'm always up, before 5 a.m. I always start with the weather report, and as of 3 a.m. This morning, the center of a severe tropical storm, Paulo, Paolo, is estimated 215 kilometers east of Baler in Aurora. That is in the Luzon Islands. So they're having rain in that area. Right there, it says in Cagayan Valley, that's northern Luzon, Cordillera Administrative Region, Ilocos Region, Aurora, Nueva Ecija, stormy today because of a severe tropical storm, Paulo. The rest of Luzon, it says here, the rest of Luzon rains with gusty winds today. Metro Manila, cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. The rest of the country, partly cloudy. And I did see earlier on my walk, it was cloudy. I thought, I even felt a couple of sprinkle of rain, but luckily it didn't rain. So I did have my hat, but I didn't have my umbrella on my morning walk this morning. But it didn't rain. I was able to continue on with my walk and able to film this morning. And I wanted to do that because yesterday, I don't know what I was thinking yesterday, but because I guess it was still dark yesterday. It was like 5:15. This time I went out there at 5:45. So it was already light, sunrise. The sun was just starting to come out. So it was a good walk. I really enjoyed the walk. At least I would say I walked maybe 3 kilometers because I know from the hotel to the bridge, it's at least 1.5 kilometers. And then I walked back. I even climbed the stairs, it's like the overpass on the diversion road. They were actually doing some type of construction or something on it. It ended up being like an obstacle course for me this morning, but I was careful. I went slow. They had like metal pipes in it. I mean, they didn't block it, so I thought, yeah, I can go up. And I saw a guy coming down the stairs, so I was thinking I could use the overpass. So I went through, you'll see it on the film. It's kind of funny because like it felt like an obstacle course going through the overhead pass, like climbed through that. But I made it through. It made for a little adventure for me this morning. Ali said hi. Hello, Ali. Manuel Felipe said hi. Hello, Manuel. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Happy Thursday. Hey, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining the live stream. I was actually chatting with my friend Belus in Wyoming, and he was like checking on me whether I was going to do a live stream. I actually wasn't really planning this morning, but I thought, well, I'll see when I get back to the hotel. I'll take a shower, and if the Wi-Fi is good. So far, it looks like the Wi-Fi is good. So go ahead with the live stream. Go ahead with the live stream. And today, my topic, I also kind of discussed it during my morning walk. The morning walks for me when I'm here in Iloilo City, very reflective for me when I'm doing my morning walks here, just because this is where I went through cancer treatments back in March of 2023. to June of 2023, I went through 12 chemo treatments here in Iloilo City, and I also went through 33 radiation treatments here. 4 months of cancer treatments here in Ilo City. So when I'm here in the city, always a lot of reflection that goes through my mind. Even during my MRI, I had my monitoring MRI 2 days ago. I always have to get these monitoring MRIs now. Every 6 months, I should get the results in like 3 to 5 business days, is what they told me. But even during my MRI, with all that noise, when you go inside that MRI, you're there for like almost an hour, and it's going boom, boom, boom. It's going making all that noise. I did have some headset. They gave me a headset, and I was listening to music, but that thing is just loud. It's that machine. I looked at the machine. I remember the machine even back in my days working in the hospital in the U.S. Is the company SIEMENS, Siemens. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but even during my MRI, I was doing a lot of reflection because that was not the first MRI for me. That's like number 7 or 8 already since I was diagnosed with cancer. So I'm becoming as a regular. It's a routine for me now to get MRIs. So I'm getting used to it. So today, my topic today will be count your blessings. That's the theme. That's the thing I was thinking when I was doing my morning walk this morning. For me, you really have to count your blessings. Our life here on earth, really, it's not given. It's like you have to really be thankful for each day, be grateful for every day that you wake up in the morning, be thankful that you're healthy. I have a friend right now. People reach out to me a lot because, I'm a cancer survivor. I always think, once you get diagnosed with cancer, you're a cancer survivor as long as you're living. It doesn't matter if you go through treatments, if you go through radiation, if you go through chemo. You don't have to get treatments to be considered a cancer survivor. The minute you get diagnosed with cancer and you're living on this earth, you are a cancer survivor. In my, that's the way I look at it. It's never a good thing when you get that, biopsy, or when you get that talk with a doctor. I'm gonna open the lift the blinds here a little bit. I guess it's getting dark outside, so I don't want to be too dark, sitting here too dark. Dazzle's still sleeping, but she sleeps pretty good. She sleeps pretty good. So that was going to be the topic for today. I was going to discuss count your blessings. It's like, I think sometimes people get busy with life, your job, the pressure, the stress, a lot of times you don't count your blessings. You don't take a minute and say, man, it's like, with all the people, all the things that's going on in the world, man, you really have to stop sometimes and just be thankful for the blessings that you have. Right now, I have a friend in Canada. He reached out to me. I've been communicating with him. He's going through cancer treatments right now. And I was just like, I'm always telling him, man, it's like, you can do it. I actually met this guy when he was in Calibo during Atiatihan, and he didn't have cancer during that time when he was here during Atiatihan. I met his wife. I met his kid. His kid looks like about a teenager, like 13 or 14 years old. And, he's battling cancer now, and I was just telling him, man, I'm praying for you. Anything I can do, it's like, text me, call me anytime, because he's not the first. People have reached out to me, and for the people going through difficulties like cancer, I'm always there, because you cannot have enough people on your side when you're going through like a battle with cancer. Prayers, any prayers, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. The more people that you have behind you, supporting you, the better. Beluz, hey, there's my good friend Beluz in Wyoming, in God's country, I got on Beluz, I told you earlier, I was gonna try to come on at 7:30. and it looks like it's getting dark outside. I guess I made it just back in time because there were clouds, there were rain clouds out there when I was walking. I did have my hat, but I was like, I tried to get my walk in, tried to get back because I wasn't sure it was gonna get start raining. But it looks like outside now it's getting dark. It looks like we're gonna get rain here. Belus. So sorry about having to do all that. Very much you went through a poisoning. Yes, I understand. I understand, Belus. It's like I said, I have medical background. I worked in medical administration for 27 years, pretty much my whole career. 20 years in the military, I worked in the medical field. Another 7, I was the risk management coordinator at Carondelet Health Network in Tucson, 4 hospitals. I used to take care of the insurance for the hospital, malpractice insurance, general insurance, anything to do with insurance that our hospital needed. That was my job at Carondelet Health Network for like 7 years. And I understood. I understood before I even started the treatment. Chemo and radiation, you are poisoning your body. That's why even now, over 2 years now, I still have many side effects from my cancer treatments. I have dry mouth. I have a hard time swallowing. My voice is different now. That's not a big deal. So just the voice. But like my endurance. I used to be a distance runner. I love running all my life. I'm slowly getting back. I can run, I can jog anyway. I can jog up to 3 kilometers now, but I could run 5, 10 kilometers before easy, without even sweating sometimes. But now, my endurance is just not there. I'm building, slowly building. First thing you do need the bathroom. Yes, the list. Yes, I am so very blessed. Told wife, we have God and health. That is all we need, right? It's like our faith, whatever we believe in, what you believe in, and then your family, of course. It's like, and sometimes, when I talk to people, I even tell them that, here in the Philippines, you see a lot of expats that come here. Older, of course. Most of the expats that I meet here are retired already, and most of them, I would say 95%, I would say they're just happy to be here. They're blessed. They found another family here, another partner, and a Filipina that they meet here. But once in a while, I run into people and I look at them, the 5%, the few that, they meet a nice Filipina here. The Filipina is taking good care of them, but still they seem like something's not complete in their life. And again, to me, they're just not counting their blessing because, like, I talk to many people that become divorced or their spouse passes away in the United States. And when that happens to you in your 50s or 60s, it's not the best situation. It's not a good situation because it's hard to meet another partner, a life partner late in that stage in your life, and then meeting somebody in the United States. People tell me it's almost impossible to date once you get divorced or you lose your spouse, like when you're in your 50s or 60s. And when you come here to the Philippines, you have that chance. It's like I have yet to meet a expat here that came here with thinking that they can't meet anybody here. Everybody seems like they meet somebody here. Some people say it's a transactional relationship. The Filipinos just looking for somebody to support them, to me, as long as two adults, you got two adults that are happy, they're having fun, they show love. It's like, to me, that's what matters. Actually, last night, Dazzle and I, we went to the theater. We watched the new Jackie Chan movie. It was a good movie. Just a warning, you have to read the subtitles. I didn't realize that because the last Jackie Chan movie I watched, I think The Foreigner, it was in English, but this one you had to read the subtitles. It's still a good movie, it's like I like Jackie Chan, and Dad's a big fan of Jackie Chan, so we enjoyed the movie. Of course, popcorn, nothing like watching the movie in the theater, eating popcorn. And here, it only costs like 310 pesos, $5.50 for your seat. And then the popcorn was like only 80 pesos. It's like a $1.75 for the popcorn. So, and I had a bottled water. I think I even brought it home, but it's empty now. It's like one of these SM. The bottled water was free. When you walk into the theater, they were handing us out some bottled water. Bond Romo. Ooh, dark background. All right, let me try to lift it up here. The blinds, Bond. Thank you for letting me know that's a dark background. I just didn't want to be too bright because Dazzle's still sleeping. Good morning, Ginno and the posse. Hey, JP, I walked to the diversion bridge. I actually did it on my phone. I did pinned it. I guess I pinned it. It didn't have a picture. I did take a picture of the bridge, so maybe I'll have to edit it later. But I just named it Diversion Bridge, Iloilo City. So I did that on Google Map. I think only like the second time I've done that. I'm not an expert, so I apologize if I goof it up, but I'll try to fix it. Maybe I can edit it with that. But I did walk to the bridge from the hotel here all the way to the bridge. I filmed the people. I filmed the people that were fishing. Lots of people fishing, man. I counted at least 10 people, and they were catching fish. They were catching tilapia, about this size tilapia, and then they were catching another freshwater fish. It was bangus. It wasn't bangus. I know bangus. Bangus is like longer. This one's like shorter, but they were casting too, man. All of them had got that rod and reel, and I asked them what bait they use, and they were just using artificial bait. They didn't bring like shrimp or anything because I asked one of the kuya using artificial bait and just like flinging it out there on Iloilo River. There was actually even a lady there paddleboarding on the river, on Iloilo River, and she had a dog in front of her paddleboard. I was like, man, she's like the river's pretty calm. It's a good place to paddleboard. But she's an experienced paddleboard. To be able to paddleboard and not be afraid that your dog will jump or it's like that you'll fall in the water. Pretty experienced. I paddleboard, Dazzle. We had our own paddleboard there, so we know how to paddleboard. So we know it's not easy. It looks easy. Paddleboarding looks easy, but it's not easy. Especially the paddleboard that we have because it's inflatable, so it's not as heavy. The heavier paddleboards are easier to float on, but the inflatable ones, they're lighter, so you need more balance with the inflatable paddleboard. Doing a live while on vacation is an indication that this is not a job, it's a calling. Oh, thank you. Well, for me, it's like when Dazzle's sleeping, there's nothing. I wait, I let her sleep. It's like for me, it's not a job. It doesn't feel like that, and I enjoy it. I enjoy, like last night before we went to the theater, I met Jeff. He stopped me. He goes, hey dude, I watched your video, and I was like, oh wow, he's American. He got here, he told me in February of this year, and he met his fiance March. I was like, dang, it's like I'm sure he just met her March, but if dating and all that. But now he's calling her fiance. Introduced me to his Filipina fiance, and you can just tell the guy was beaming. You can just tell the smile on his face. He was happy to meet Dazzle and I, and then Dazzle started talking to his fiance, and then I kept talking to Jeff while we were waiting. They were gonna watch a movie, but they just saw us like standing there looking. We got our ticket and just waiting to go inside the movie. So was just talking to Jeff, and it just it felt good just because I just could tell the guy was happy. He's like I forget. He's from Florida. He's from Florida. I'm trying to remember because this morning on my walk, right before I got to like the pathway, it's like the walkway bike path going to the Esplanade. Another subscriber like, hey Gino. I was like, what? I turned around and the guy's name is Jason. I took a picture with him. I'll include it in the video. And he said, Gino, it's like I'm staying at the In-Jap Hotel. The reason I'm staying there is because of your videos. I was like, oh wow, it's like, and he's from Washington D.C. He's from the Washington D.C. area. Just talked to him a little bit. I could tell he's already sweating because he's walking on the walkway this morning, and I'm always happy to meet people. I'm always like, I always tell people, you contact me, I'll do a meetup. I'll do a meetup. This time in Iloilo, I was trying to do less meetup. I was really not scheduling meetups with people just because it's kind of like Dazzle's and Night's vacation, mini vacation. Like yesterday, Dazzle and I, we went to the Jackie Chan movie, walked around SM Iloilo, and just she shopped. I think she bought another pair of shoes. I bought another flip-flop. I'm a flip-flop guy. This is my other flip-flop is like getting old, it's about ready to give out. So I bought one of these flip-flops, Islander flip-flop here. They're pretty good flip-flops, these things last me at least a year or two usually. But it was nice. It was just nice meeting Jason this morning, and he's also a cancer survivor. I guess that's why he was attracted to my videos, because he said he started watching my videos when I was going through my cancer treatments in Iloilo City. He's younger than me. He's like five years younger. But even that just small conversation, it was fun for me. It was fun for me because it amazes me sometimes how I touch people. It's like he said, man, you were so positive during your cancer treatments. And, it's like when he got diagnosed, he said, man, just an inspiration. So I was like, oh, wow. It's like, good morning, Gino. Hey, James and Karen Adventures. Check out their channel. My good buddy James. We're still here in Iloilo, James. We're gonna be here until tomorrow still. So another day of just vacationing here in Iloilo City, just enjoying our time. Just Dazzle and I. Leanna stayed home. Nene, Leanna, and Dazzle's older sisters watching Leanna at home. Sometimes Dazzle and I, we just like to get away and just be us, because for the longest time, we got married in 2016, and then we only got Leanne about 2.5 years ago. So for the longest time there, a good 6-7 years, it was just Dazzle and I, and we would do things like this. We would always be. I mean, we even went to Singapore. We went to Luzon. We went to Dumaguete. We would travel before. And I think next year, I think I'm going to be able to travel more because I'm feeling much better now. It really took me, I would say, 2 years to really start being myself again after I rang the bell. I rang the bell. The ring the bell is like your last day of cancer treatments. Once you ring the bell, everybody clap, everybody's congratulating me. I don't really know what was going on when that happened, but that's when I guess you start counting like that you're cancer free after you ring the bell. And so far so good. It's like I'll know the results of my MRI here in a couple of days, and I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's good. Ooh, there's that green thing again. It's hard to read the green. Belus, yes, another storm going to cut across. Some 5.1, yeah, 5.1 quake. Yeah, I did see that last night. I think in Samar, I think there was another 5.1. For sure. Really has to stop with the earthquakes and the typhoons. But that's the thing. The Philippines, unfortunately, we get about 18 to 20 typhoons a year, and the earthquake is just, it happens here, because we're in the ring of fire. We're in the ring of fire, so that's not gonna. It'll just keep happening, but hopefully, we got the last of the earthquakes too. JP, hello, J and K and Bon. All right, hey, 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 Mr. JP. Daniel, my good friend in Jacksonville, Florida. Howdy, y'all, the Panay Posse. There is blessings in all of good trails and testing. Sometimes it just takes time for us to see it and learn from it. Yes, and for me, I've always like been thankful for my life. I've always been like grateful. And when I got to retire early here in the Philippines, I know it's like I was able to come here at 45 years old, and 14 years later, I still have a good life here. I don't take a day for granted, and I think going through what I did with my health situation, it even really amplified it as far as being grateful. I do not take a single day for granted anymore. Every day for me is a blessing. When I wake up, when I see the sunrise, it's another good day, another good day. Any day on this earth is another good day. Hey, Ivan, good morning, Ivan. Good to see you on the live stream, my friend. Good to see you on the live stream. JP, Daniel, hello, hey, 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 Daniel. Good morning, Mr. Gus. All right, Gus Spring, all right. I always get that. I always get Gus Spring. I guess I look like Gus Spring. It's like from Breaking Bad. From Breaking Bad. Listening at work. All right, all right. Yeah, the topic today, Vegas Will. I was just saying, counting your blessings. It's like I said, many times, I know there, especially if you're still in the United States, if you're still working and you're not retired, I understand that life. I understand that life well. It's like pressure. Pressure of like providing for your family. As the man of the house. If you got kids. That's a big responsibility. That's a big responsibility. And in the US, with all the stuff going on, all the noise going on social media, the news, and then I can just imagine being in a work situation because, being at work and surrounded with people like with different, going through the same thing, going through the same struggles, that how hard that dynamic is. My friend from Hawaii, he just retired recently, and he told me, it's really not the work that he didn't mind the work. He told me he didn't mind the work. He actually enjoyed the actual work, but he told me just dealing with people was getting harder and harder, and I could see that. I can see that because when stuff is going around you, when you have all the pressure, all the stress, you got people that not in a nice mood, right? You get people that are angry, that are like, a little incident in the office can turn something into big because like of it all. Belus, I'm only 56, forced retirement at 50. I'm really blessed. Oh, you are, man. You are, man. Anytime, anytime retire early, because in the United States, normally for Americans, 62 is the first retirement age where earliest retirement age you can collect Social Security. So anytime you can retire before 62, that is a blessing. And I often tell people, man, if you can afford to retire before 62 without that, without Social Security, do it because you will not regret it. And my good friend Robbie in Cebu City now, he lives in Moalboal. He's about my age, about 59. He jumped ship. He came here 2 years ago and living. Met a nice Filipina, having a good life, and he said, man, I'm glad. He told me, I'm glad you talked me into coming to the Philippines, because I was communicating with Robbie when he was still working in the United States. I told him, man, if you got the money, you can just fund your retirement gap, till 62. And he could, because he had saved money, had investments, Now his 401k, he's 59 now. So I knew he can afford it because he had good income in the US. So now it's like living a good life, living a good life. That's why, Belush, being able to retire at 50, man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing, brother. Very blessed to have been 5 years. I know. And to me, I've often mentioned it, Belush, on the live stream here. It's not the first I've said it. Your biggest decision here in the Philippines, when you move here to the Philippines, is meeting the right Filipina. It will make or break your retirement here. If you meet the right Filipina, a Filipina that cares for you, treats you number one, ahead of anything else, ahead of her family, ahead of everything here in the Philippines, and she treats you number one, you're gonna get a great life here. But if you meet the wrong Filipina, it can go sideways, and I've seen that. Where ruins people's retirement here because they meet the wrong Filipina. We love date night. Yeah, well, that's all night we still do. Not just date night, we have date days because we don't really go out at night when we're in Aklan province. Here we're able to because we can take a taxi. In Calibo, it's usually a date day, and we don't have a theater. We don't have a theater in Calibo, so a lot of times it's usually lunch. We usually go out to lunch. Steak in a movie. Wow, steak in a movie, man. That's like Dazzle and Leanna. Actually, Dazzle said they wanted to try steak. They've never had steak. That both Dazzle and Leanna never had steak. So now we're gonna, well, probably. I know my friend Ray in the Philippines. He said next time he's in Panay Island, he's gonna make Dazzle and Leanna a steak. Daniel, JP, JK, Sir Gino. I don't know about Sir Gino, man. It's like, I'm just Gino, brother. The Colonel, good morning, Colonel. Appreciate your time, Colonel. Thank you for joining the live stream. One, the song Arms Wide Open has been on my mind today. Welcome to this place. I'll show love. I'll show you everything. Oh, wow. Beautiful sentiment and beautiful sentiment. I'll have to look that up. Arms wide open. JP, I thought you were going to say there was a lady fisherman, and I got all excited. Oh, JP, there was a lady on the paddleboard. It was a lady on the paddleboard. You'll see it on the upcoming video, and she had her dog, right in the middle of Iloilo River, and that river's not tiny. That's a good sized river, So she has to have good balance to be paddleboarding like in the middle of the river there. It was all guys. Unfortunately, I did not see a lady fisherman right there. Like I said, there was actually about 10 right there on that spot where I filmed before fishing. And then when I got up on the bridge, there were a couple of guys fishing on the top of the bridge. So I guess it's really a popular fishing hole because they were catching a lot of fish. Just the little bit of time that I was filming, not even 5 minutes, I was filming there. Everybody was catching. I was like, oh man! And they have their net. It's like a net bag. They put their catch in there and they put the net in the water so to keep the fish alive. I thought that was kind of genius. One guy threw his fish like on the ground, but the fish, and I felt bad for the fish because like the fish is like fish out of water. But I guess they do that. I guess they do that sometimes. Matthias, where do you live? All right, Matthias. We live in Numancia, Aklan in Western Visayas, but right now we're vacationing here in Iloilo City for a couple of days. We'll be here tomorrow. Will be our last day. We're headed back to Aklan province. So another day in Iloilo City today to just like have fun. Oh, my Dodgers won. I almost didn't mention that. My Dodgers are moving on to the next round against the Philadelphia Phillies. We're going up against the Philadelphia Phillies. I think the game is Saturday, maybe Sunday here. I'm not sure. I got to look it up. But Moving on to the next round. Looking good. My Dodgers are looking good. Matthias said hi. Hello, hello, Matthias. JP LOL. In Florida, we have ladyfish. Ladyfish, ladyfish. And it's one that you don't want to keep and eat. Oh, okay, okay. You don't want to keep the ladyfish. My lady finder is way broken. I need to land in a clan, get my bearings. Super slow. Super slow, JP. Super slow. That's the best way. That's the best way. It will come. I always tell people, it's like, you don't really have to look, man, for Filipina. Get settled here, get situated. You're going to have plenty of opportunities to meet Filipinas here. Just the get-togethers, like expat get-togethers. Usually Filipinas that already are dating expats, usually they have friends. They have friends. A lot of Filipinas, they know if it's an expat get-together, there will be single expats there. So it's usually a good meeting. It's like even like I know, like, yeah, if we set up something, an activity in Calibo, maybe fishing activity in Laolas, there a Filipina will come. I know a Filipina will come for you, JP. I'm not even worried about that. Sergeant, I use the ladyfish for bait. It's a ladyfish for bait. One, when she comes, it will be all worth it, Mr. JP. It's like quiet flow to a waterfall. Hey, right there, and JP, I have been thinking of giving Sheriff Dazzle veto power. Veto power. Dazzle's got a pretty good eye. Dazzle, I think it's like most Filipinas, and they can sense when something is not right. Red flags, red flags. Even I can spot red flags sometimes when I see when people start dating here. You can kind of see that I don't think that's gonna work. But people choose who they choose. It's kind said hi, Wilfrey Rojas. All right, hello, hello, Juan. My wife wanted for you to shout out my kids, Zayden. All right, hello, Zayden, and Zariah. All right, there you go. Pronounce Sarah G. All right, Sarah G. All right, hello, Sarah G. Hello, Zayden. Said hi. All right. First time in your stream. What you do in your stream? All right, all right. Thank you for joining the live stream. Really, basically, on our live stream, we talk about the Philippines. The Philippines is most often our topic. I help people move to the Philippines. I've been here in the Philippines now for 14 years. I've been retired in the Philippines, and I've helped people move to Calibo, move to Aklan province. Here in Iloilo City, I've actually helped people move here, find their condo. I've actually gone on a condo hunt for people that come here to Iloilo City. If I'm here, I was like more than happy to help people here. And then just general information about moving or retiring in the Philippines, because I have a good understanding of the visa process here, the what else? The hospital situation, because a lot of people retiring here, hospitalization, medical is important to them. And I don't charge. I never charge any money. No consultation fee with me, and I will never charge. For me, I do this. I want to help my fellow man. It's like I just want to help my fellow man, because I think less and less of that is happening now. Helping others, and me. I was in the military for 20 years. I served my country for 20 years. And I think that's just ingrained in me as far as like helping other people. I enjoy helping people. Hey Mark, my good friend White Mark. We call him White Mark because there's a brown Mark. His brother is like a brown Mark. Amen, brother. On social media, people keep talking about ivermectin working good against some cancer. Anything that helps. Hey, Mark. It's like I'm telling you, Belus here told me about the sour soup leaves. It's like the guyabano leaves, tea. Man, I'm trying everything, man. Anything herbal, anything I'm drinking, and I'm eating mostly fruits and vegetables. Any remedy, anything, man. I'm willing to try, to keep cancer at bay. And of course, just watching my diet and exercise. I know it's getting me back to where I used to be. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I think most people that see me, they tell me that, wow, you gained some weight. You're like looking strong because when I stopped my treatments, I was down to like 119 pounds. That's the lowest. I can't remember when I was 119 pounds, and I'm 5'10", so I was like really skinny. But now I'm up like to 150 now. I'm like 150 pounds. And a good 150 pounds. I feel like I'm lean, it's like I'm getting stronger. I'm back in the gym. I'm lifting, not heavy weights, not free weights, but like just getting all my muscles working again because for 2 years there, I couldn't really lift anything. It's like I would do a little bit of yoga, a little bit of push-ups, not many push-ups, but now, I'm starting to get my strength back. Hear ye, Daniel. Down to 5 months. Hey, it's gonna go fast, Daniel, because like yesterday, I was Dazzle and I were walking to SM City Iloilo to go there, hang out, and all the Christmas stuff, Christmas decoration, Santa Claus already out. They even have a sign on the door when I was filming it, going to the door. I had to cut my. They don't like you filming inside the mall, so I had to cut it right at the door. But there's already a sign that says 84 days to Christmas. And I was like, and that's gonna go by fast. Man, the days here, the minute the holiday season, Christmas, it just goes fast here. It's like it's amazing how time flies here. So I know next thing you know, Daniel, it'll be like we're celebrating 2026, and you're on your way here to the Philippines. Japan first before the Philippines. I know you got like 2-week vacation in Japan. One, talking about work. We are on a furlough right now. I heard that. Government shutdown. I heard that right now it's a furlough. Politics do get in the way of life, but it's a necessary evil. I understand. But that's I'm sure that there has to be other added stress, right? For I'm sure people knew that maybe a furlough was coming, but still, that's just another worry in the minds of people. How long is this furlough gonna happen? Adds to the stress. And I remember when I was going to my cancer treatments, my oncologist, the very first thing my oncologist told me is like, no stress. If you're gonna go through cancer treatments, my oncologist told me no stress. Get rid of all your stress. And luckily for me, I didn't have many anyway. I'm retired. I've been retired in the Philippines. When I got diagnosed, I was here already 11, 12 years. So it's not like I was stressed. I was like enjoying my life, and to me that helped me, that with my when I got diagnosed, of course you get sad. It's like, you get the feeling like, ooh, why me? It's like I thought I did everything correct. It's like I don't smoke, I don't hardly drink. So I exercise, I eat well. But cancer is one of those things where it's random. It's like hitting the lottery. You just get cancer. It's like they haven't figured out. So many things. So many people will tell you this costs what costs, but bottom line, it's like nobody can pinpoint. Like nobody's ever told me, even my oncologist, all the doctors that I've seen, nobody can tell me what was the cause of my cancer. It's not that simple. It could have been a combination, could have been many things. I really think it was the vaccine that caused me cancer, but they can't even prove that. How would they prove that the COVID vaccine caused my cancer? It's like there's no years and years of study before, I'm sure, before they'll say yay or nay on that. JP Daniel, I'm looking at the last week in December. Even if I have to hide outside Khalifa for a few weeks, all right. No worries, JP. Come here when you come here, man. You know, I'm here. You know, you got the Ginno welcoming community here, JP. Whatever you need from me, I'll be here. I'll pick you up at the airport, flying to Katiklan, flying to Kalibo, wherever you need to fly in. Heck, fly into Iloilo if you want. Man, I'll pick you up anywhere here. Just get here and we'll figure it out once you get here. You know, it's like I know it's a giant leap of faith, you know, coming to the Philippines, but I always tell people, you know, it's like, what do you got to lose? You know, it's like cost a plane ticket maybe, or you know, if it don't work out, if you don't like it or something happens, it's not like you can't go back to the US, right? To me that's not really a failure if you go back to the US. To me, at least you tried. At least you made that giant leap of faith. You had an adventure, and believe me, it's an adventure. Just getting on the plane, traveling thousands of miles to a foreign land with different people, you know, different dynamics. You know, to me, it's worth the adventure. I think it's worth it, especially at our age. You know, we were like in our 50s, 60s. You know, it's like what you know, like this is the time to just like have fun. You know, we're at the fourth quarter of our life. Time to just like let it go, just have fun. You know, it's like a lot of times when I meet the expats when they come here to retire, the one thing I notice with a lot of them is they overthink things. You know, it's like so many things are in their mind, like you know, and I just kind of look at them, you know, and sometimes I go, dude, you're overthinking it, man. Just like relax, you know, have a beer, you know, have a beer, you know. Don't think about a week from now, a month from now, 6 months from now. Don't think about that. Live day to day. Just enjoy the day, you know. It's like that way you can just relax, you know. Just be thankful that you're able to do it. You know, it's like, you know, I know there's so many people in the United States now that contact me for different reasons. One of the reasons that's common, like I hear it often with Filipino Americans that contact me. The Filipino wife doesn't want to go back to the Philippines. That's common. You know, there's people that contact me. They don't have. They're worried about their health. You know, there's no Medicare here, so they can't come, or they don't have enough money. They're worried if their money's gonna last. So to me, just the plain fact that you're on a plane headed here for an adventure, to me, that's already a win. That's a win. You know, it's like not many people, you know, I know people will talk about it. There's people that, you know, that contact me. I'll be there in 5 years. I'll be there in 6 years. And I always tell them, hey, man, it's good that you're planning, But sometimes I think one subscriber had mentioned on the live stream here, many people get stuck on that planning. You know, they're planning and planning, but never jump it, never make that leap of faith. And to me, like I said, you know, if you make that leap of faith, it doesn't have to be the Philippines. It could be Mexico, it could be Panama, could be anywhere in Southeast Asia. It's, to me, it's still a win because you got off that couch, you got off that like watching YouTube videos, and like, man, I'm going for it. I'm gonna check it out for myself. You know, right? So to me, that's a win, man. That's a win in my book. One, get her done, get her done, get her done, Daniel, get her done. Colonel, there's great shark and blue. Ooh, shark bait. They use the ladyfish for shark bait, huh? Wow. Bluefish bait. Belus, when you face death, you really appreciate your days. I know, right? To me, we can relate. We can relate, right, Belus? For me, exactly. That's how I feel now. You know, it's like I do not take a day for granted. Every single day for me is a blessing. Every time I can look at the sun in the morning, I'm like, thank you, Lord. You know, it's like another day on earth. JP, scan it out for both of us and take one for all. Oh, I'm sure, you know, Edgar right now, you know, Edgar. Oh, right there. Now, speaking of Edgar, I was just like going to talk about Edgar. Edgar's checking it out for you guys. You know, Edgar is getting the feel of Calibo, getting the feel of the Philippines. I will keep my eyes open, Daniel. Edgar, there he is. Edgar, JP, It is all good. Just be open and honest. Good morning, all. All right. Good morning, Edgar. Good morning, Edgar. Edgar, I'm so excited for you being there and enjoying everything. All right, all right. It's all good, JP. Yes, some things not perfect. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like there's really not a perfect place anywhere you go, and in the Philippines, there will be challenges. I'm not like sugarcoating it. I'm not saying that the Philippines is the best thing since sliced bread. There are obstacles there. There's lots of adjustments for you to make for what you're not used to, especially if you've never traveled outside the United States. You are going to a developing country. This is not not the Western world, not the conveniences that you have in the U.S. Everything moves at a different beat in the Philippines. Everything's slow here, island time. People are not in a hurry. People are like, oh, we'll do it later. I'll pick you up later. I'll do, everything is just, everything takes time. Like, even going to a bank here, or even, usually like Ray was even talking about this. Ray in the Philippines, live stream, he was talking about this. When he has to accomplish a task, that's the one task he'll accomplish for the day. It's not like in the U.S. where if you had a day off today, you can accomplish many things in that day off. You can accomplish grocery shopping, going to Costco, cleaning your car, taking your car to like oil change. Do a lot of things in one day. Here in the Philippines, it just doesn't work like that. Even like a simple oil change, or a simple trip to the bank, a simple trip to the grocery, that ends up a few hours. That usually ends up like half a day. So just understand that it's everything takes time here. Everything takes time here. Edgar was first and JP in the second, and that makes me the third wheel, the third wheel. JB Daniel, if Dazzle is the sheriff, does that make Gino the master sergeant? All right, I'm a master sergeant. I'm a master sergeant. All right. Try being Philippine expat. Michael White in Masbate Island. Good morning, Michael. Hope all is well in Masbate. I know you got a lot of work. I see on your video, and I see on your Facebook page, man. A lot of work to be done in your area. A lot of recovery from Typhoon Opong. But I know you can handle it, and you can handle anything there. I mean, you've been thriving there in your area, so I know you're gonna help your community rebuild and everything. Ato said hi. All right, Ato. LOL. I'll be there before Easter. LOL. Be there for before Easter. Michael C. Good morning, bro. Good morning, bro. My good friend in the Trece Martires in Cavite. Our Christmas. I know I saw that, James. I saw your Christmas tree's already up. Thanks to Karen. All right. Our tree's not up yet. Our tree's not up yet. I usually will wait because we have to decorate for Halloween. I know our outside, I have to decorate it for Halloween because in our neighborhood, the kids go trick or treating, for Halloween. So that's first, maybe after Halloween, after the trick or treating, that's when we'll start decorating with lights outside our house, and then Christmas tree. Hey, Mom Janet, hello, Mom Janet. Hey, Mike, hey, hello, Sergeant, salute. All right, Edgar will tell me that one is for Daniel, yours is down by the pier fishing. That one is for yours down. There are people fishing like at the pier at Pook, JP. So we got a couple of locations for you to fish. The one in Lambingan Beach, in Calibo, by the Pook area. My friend John Sparrow, he fishes there, so he can assist us fishing in that area. And then Loola's Fish Farm, that's like the fishing hole for Dazzle and Mom. Hello, Janet. Hello, Janet. Steady always wins the race. Yes, yes. Steady always wins the race. I believe that. Yeah. No need to rush. You know, that's one thing I learned here in the Philippines. I've been here 14 years now. I never rush. You know, I always take my time. When I drive, I take my time. Like you saw in the video, I drive like on the highway here, on the highway, right? It's not really expressway. They call it National Highway, the main road going from Aklan to Iloilo. On the main highway, I drive 60 kilometers per hour, which is 39 miles an hour. That's how fast I drive. You know, I take my time. I'm not going to be passing trucks trying to get there. I'm trying to get there safely in one piece, you know, so I don't rush anything. You know, when I go to like different places in Calibo where I have to have a transaction or a bank, I just like sit there, take my time. I'm on my phone. I'll read. I'll watch videos. No need to be in a hurry once you're retired anyway, in my opinion. Janet, just sit. All right. Yep. Mike, a long time in Ireland and good at what he does. He does. I mean, for me, what impresses me with Michael White is how helpful he is to the community. He is an asset to his community, and to me, that's like that's what it's all about. You know, being an asset to the community, helping people. You know, serving other people. To me, that's like, man, that's gold. That's gold here in the Philippines. Hello, Janet. Hello. All right. Almost the bearing off item is always a bit of work. I will eat a piece of sushi. All right. For each of the, we got sushi here now though, you know, Daniel. So sushi I don't miss because we do have sushi here. Actually, here in Iloilo City, one of our favorite place to eat here, Dazzle Night, it's called Boteju. Boteju, they have two Boteju, one at SM City, Iloilo, another at Festive Mall. It's a modern Japanese restaurant. Excellent sushi. It's like my favorite sushi here in the Philippines. Steady wins the race. Steady wins the race. Daniel, is there anyone scheduled to be posse number 4? There might be somebody that sneaks in, JP, because there's a guy that's been contacted me, but he's not on social media. He told me, I think he's on one of my messenger, I think Dazzle TV Messenger. His name is Skel, I think Skel. He was telling me he was gonna come to Calibo end of October, but I haven't heard from him recently. But you know, would not surprise me. He's just, hey Ginno, I'm on my way. You know, people do that to me all the time, and not a problem. You know, not a problem. It's not like I'm going anywhere. You know, it's like. And then I know Stevie from Seattle. He's in Seattle right now. He'll be here. He's only gonna half it. 6 months in the Philippines. 6 months. He still has to work. I think he collects Social Security, but he's still working. You know, I'll learn more when he gets here. When Stevie gets here, he gets here in November. He already has his ticket to Katiklan. I think November, first week of November, he's got his ticket to Katiklan. But he's leaning more to like Katiklan because he wants to be near Boracay than Calibo. We'll see, because it's harder for me to find a place for him in Katiklan because that's an hour 15 minutes from the house, and there's not many housing in Katiklan. If you can imagine, a lot of people in Katiklan, they work in Boracay, so not many apartments in Katiklan, because you got like 35,000 people in Boracay, working in Boracay, commuting every day. You know, it's a lot of people living in Katiklan and work in Boracay. So it's a 15-minute ferry, and it's expensive to live in Boracay Island. So people live in the Katiklan, mainland side of Aklan, and they take the ferry every day. We'll see. And then there's people here already. You know, it's like, I think we can count Ruben. I think Ruben's been here since January. Nefty's been here since February, and Mel, he's been here a few months. I think they're part of the Panay Posse. I think, it's like, I mean, we had karaoke with them together. So the next event, I'll keep inviting them. They're just not active. They're just not active on the live stream. They're just not, they're more private, and nothing wrong with that. I don't give them, it's like, to me, it's like, if you notice, I don't really like push people, like, it's like, as far as being on the channel, doing the live, I don't, it's like, for me, I'm there for them anytime they want to text me, anytime they have a hey, Gino, how do you do this? Or Gino, what do you think of this? I'm always getting messages for the people that are in Calibo. So to me, as long as I'm of help, it's not necessary to be on the live stream, not necessary to watch my videos. That's what it's not all about for me. They're still my friends. Every time I see them in Calibo, I'm happy to see them. I was just gonna ask about from Washington State. All right, that's Stevie. Stevie, He was staying at the JBLM. I get the Joint Base because he was in the Air Force. I think he did 4 years in the Air Force. He's a veteran. Right now, he's doing the van life. He lives in a van, and he's been working at, like, is it Mount Rainier? Mount Rainier. He does like. Road safety or something like that. He drives a truck. He used to drive a truck too. So he's doing that 6 months in the Washington State area, and then 6 months he'll live here. So when he gets here in November, he'll stay here for 6 months, and then he'll have to go back to work 6 months. He said that's his plan anyway. 6 months in the Philippines, 6 months working in Washington State. I hit the like, Gino, but I got other shows running. All right, no worries, Mom Janet, no worries. Thank you for joining the live stream. There's 3 or 4 expats already here at La Casa. Everyone has been nice. All right, yeah, Edgar was mentioning to me the other day, there's a guy from Michigan. Like I said, you don't have to be part of the channel, part of the live streams or anything. It's like, to me, I'll help anybody. If people ask me for help, I would help them. So, and I did meet another gentleman in La Casa Española. He's American Asian. He's not Filipino, but I could tell he's American Asian. I think he was with his wife, and he was like, I just caught him in the hallway because I'm always there. I'm always at La Casa Española. And he goes, hey, Gino, it's like, we watch your channel. I said, all right. In his service, we'll watch replay to stay current. Regards to Daz. All right, thank you, Mom Janet. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time stopping by. God bless all. God bless everyone. Edgar, do the La Casa expat have girlfriends, or are they single? Competition. I know one from Texas. He's got a girlfriend, but his girlfriend's like from Iloilo, so she's not. She stays in Iloilo, visits him. Most are single. My neighbor only here temporary was from Washington. They had lived in the U.S. for 30 years. Wow. Gino, you think you can get a nice 2-bedroom? Yeah, it should be no problem. Edgar lives in a 2-bedroom. Place for 2K. It's for the 2-bedroom, it's 20,000 pesos for the furnished 2-bedroom. So that's about $350 a month. $350 a month for the furnished 2-bedroom. Oh, in Boracay, place 2K. 2K, when you say K, is that $2,000? I mean, for $2,000, man, you can get anything in Boracay. Usually in Boracay, for a 2-bedroom, there's less of that, of course. There's more 1-bedroom. It depends on what you want. If it's a condominium, there are more condominium at New Coast that are 1-bedroom, but there are a few that are 2-bedroom. For the 2-bedroom, you're gonna be looking at $1,000 at least, about, close to 60,000 pesos on the new coast in Boracay, the new condominiums. There's many places in Boracay, two bedrooms, that's not in the condominium. You're gonna be looking between 40,000 pesos to 50,000 pesos, 800 to $900. Boracay is not cheap. Boracay, there are cheap places to live, like places that I would live, because I'm not picky. It's like, but I know how Americans are. I know how Americans are. Americans are picky. It has to be like a American standard. When I say American standard, Western standard, you're looking at like for a one bedroom to start, you're looking at about 35,000 pesos to start, about $650. And then for a two bedroom, you would be hard to find a two bedroom in Boracay Island, American standard, Western standard, anything below 40,000 pesos or $750. Not cheap in Boracay. I think it depends on each person. If you're willing to meet people, I think you can and will find someone. Yes, I mean, right, Edgar. It's like you got to be out there meeting, right? You got to be like out there meeting people, opportunities. And, one of the places, to me anyway, it's like, I'm not saying you got to be religious or anything, but a lot of times, if you belong to a church, like a church group, that's a good meeting place, and, a good place to meet a Filipina. And there's like multiple religious denominations in Calibo, LDS, Church of Christ, Catholic, Protestant, Baptist. I mean, any church that you pretty much go to, they have a version of it in Calibo. To me, that's a good meeting place. I think to find a nice Filipina would be church, a church-going person. But that's just me, just my opinion. I'm not saying, that you gotta go to church to find a Filipina, but to me, that's a good place to find a Filipina. JP, Janet, I am doing well, having more time to get online all right, JP. You're getting close, man. You're getting close to leaving. So I know you're trying to get all the information, but I think you've done enough. I think you've done your research. I think you're ready, JP. It's just a matter of making that leap of faith now, man. It's about just like taking that leap. It's like you can do the research, you can watch the videos, you can listen to people like me about life in the Philippines. The bottom line, you just got to make that jump. And each person, when they land there, is a different experience from another person. What you will experience will be totally different from my experience. So, but to me, it's like I said, it's an adventure. At least you're living out a dream. A lot of times it's a dream to go to travel to a foreign land, meet new people, have new experiences. To me, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Later on, later passing our life, our fourth quarter of life, that's like a blessing to be able to do that, because I know not all can do it. Not all can do it. I know many Americans in the U.S. are struggling. A plane ticket would be something hard for them to afford, or even to live in another country would be hard for them to afford. And some just can't. Some just can't, like health issues, people have health issues that, they rely on Medicare, they rely on the VA hospital in the U.S. that they just can't go because they don't have that support here in the Philippines. Scuba Steve, hey Scuba Steve, always good to see you, brother. Good to see you on the live screen. Scuba Steve. You just got one of those cool names, man. Scuba Steve. I like that, Scuba Steve. JP, it is very good to read this. Strong amen to this. All right. Good morning, Scuba Steve. Good morning. Hello, before I go, best regards. Good morning, Janet. All right. Greetings, Ginno. Sorry I caught your live. No worries. No pressure on catching the live streams. There's replays, and it's like if people got time to watch it, people got time to watch. It's not like I'm just glad I'm able to do it. Hopefully able to share information. Hopefully share my experience here in the Philippines. Got any plans for the weekend? Oh, we're here in Iloilo City, so we've been like kind of like a mini vacation in Iloilo City. Today, more time at SM City. Maybe we'll go to Festive Mall this time. Dazzle's still sleeping. I'm sure we'll eat. Well, the minute she wakes up, we'll eat. I think she was wanting to try a new Korean barbecue place. We saw one at SM City Iloilo on the first floor. A different one from the Korean restaurant we usually eat in SM Iloilo. So we might try that. We're always willing to try new things, So we'll see. When Dazzle wakes up, she always decides. I'm just like, man, I can eat anything, man. I'm like, I'm not picky when it comes to food. And then tomorrow, for sure, we're gonna make one run again to SNR before we head back because I gotta pick up like stuff that for the house. Like I usually get this gigantic tub of like laundry detergent because it's like 1,200, and like that laundry detergent lasts us for like months. So it's a good deal. Big products like that are the Filipino Costco. So I'll buy things maybe. I know I'm low on my refried beans. I like refried beans, and I don't get that in Aklan province. I can't find refried beans in Aklan province, so I'll get a few cans of refried beans. Other beans like that I use for like red beans and rice. I like red beans and rice. So there's stuff at SNR, and I look for the tamales wrap. I know JP, when he gets here, he plans on making tamales, and I know the tamales wrap, the corn. It's hard to find. It's hard to find in Calibo, and I know that they don't spoil anyway. So if I see it, I'll just get some, and I'll look for masa too. The corn flour. I'll see if they have that. Stuff that don't spoil, I can just get because I can store it in our house in Glen. That way, when it's time to cook the tamales, JP, I don't have to be looking for it. We already have it. We already have it. I think it's more Perniski. We can have discriminating tastes. Aim high, a good thing. Yes, yes. That's the thing, Mom Janet. What I noticed. Because Filipinos were used to growing up in a developing country. The Americans, that come here, you're coming from America. You're coming from all the conveniences, all the luxuries in the States. And I can blame them for wanting like higher standard, better quality. But, with higher standard, better quality, you're going to have to pay a little extra, pay a little extra for that. Me, if I go, when I was looking for an apartment in Calibo back in 2012, and I looked at 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, right? It was 7,000 pesos, like $125 a month and it's in a building, a cement building. I was living on the second floor. To me, $125, for a month to rent. I was like, I'm there. But when I moved in there, no AC, no air condition. So I had to buy like a window type AC to put on my window, right? That way in my bedroom, at least I have AC. The rest of the house didn't have AC. It got hot. There were days where it was hot inside the house. Didn't have a refrigerator, so I had to buy it was taller than a dorm refrigerator, but still not a full size refrigerator. I paid like 7,000 for it. The bathroom didn't have a hot shower. But to me, I've taken cold showers since I moved here. Not a big thing to me. I'm used to taking cold showers. It's not, to me, like when I stay at a hotel like this, the Hop Inn, it's like, I feel like I'm like privileged, because they got hot water. So I'm enjoying it when I'm at a hotel. But at home, I've never had hot water in our house or any apartments that I lived there. Because hot water is not one of those things that Filipinos put in their house. And when I say hot water, it's not the whole house. Like I know in the US, when every single faucet comes out hot water. Here, when I say hot shower, it's basically like a portable, it's a square unit right beside the shower, and it'll heat the water a little bit. It's not gonna be like forever hot water. You better take your hot shower quick, because that real portable unit, it'll run out of hot water. Uh, and that's not a big thing with Filipinos. That's hot shower is not a thing with Filipinos. Very few Filipino homes will have a hot shower. That's why when you go find an Airbnb at somebody's home when you're traveling the Philippines, and a home is offering Airbnb for one of their bedrooms, like a separate bedroom, a separate bathroom. Usually there's no hot water. It's very common here to have no hot shower on the Airbnbs. But Edgar's got a hot shower. He's got one of those portable unit at La Casa Española. I think pretty much all the units at La Casa Española's got hot shower at least. A sign around your neck. Love. When did apply within? Apply within. You're funny. Scuba, blessings to all. All right, Scuba Steve. Thank you, my brother. Blessings. Stay blessed, my brother. Having the adventure of a new country halfway around the world is one of the largest attractions for me. All right, JP, to me, man, I remember when I was in the military, JP, when I was like going to Korea, and I was going to be assigned in Korea to get to live in Korea. Same thing when I got assigned to Japan, when I got to live in Japan. And then I was blessed. I was able to be stationed here in the Philippines, active duty military at Clark Air Base in Angeles City. Man, I was so happy and excited, because just the getting to a new place, and all the sight and all the sound was different from America. It's like the food, the noise, the public transportation, everything. To me, that's just like that's a blessing when you experience that. It's like, and I know when you get here, I know, JP, I know you're gonna appreciate everything about life here, how the people here are friendly. Not a lot of that, divisiveness, not a lot of, you don't see that here. Like I said many times, people in our province, in Aklan province, man, these people aren't political. They don't even watch the news, like Filipino news, or whoever candidate, whoever, all this stealing by the government, all of these projects. Man, people in our province, they're just trying to feed their family. They're either farming, or they're either like fishing, commercial fishing. They're just trying to put food on the table. That is like their priority. And then every evening, have fun with karaoke and Red Horse. That's how simple life, Filipino life is in the province. And Michael White can attest to that in Masbate Island. James and Karen Sabet, they can attest to that in Balete. People just know how to have fun here. It doesn't take a lot to for Filipinos to have fun. You start cranking out that music, karaoke music. You bring out the Red Horse, couple of bottles of Red Horse, and it's a party. It's a party here in the Philippines. Sergeant, love it, love it. With Arms Wide Open by Creed. All right. Thank you. I'll have to check it out, Bon. I'll have to. I'm sure I probably heard the song. I've heard of Creed before. I know I've heard about music from Creed before. Do they have Vietnamese style cooking there? Not many. In Calibo, zero. We do not have any Vietnamese style cooking. There is a place. Let me take that back. The Habuan Weaving Center, like in New Busuang or Old Busuang, they do serve like Vietnamese food, but it's not a popular thing with Filipinos. Like the pho, the noodles, because the noodles are different from what we're used to. I think that's what it is. Like even for me, I've had Vietnamese food in the U.S. I'm not big on it, because I prefer the Filipino noodles. I prefer the Filipino texture in the noodles, and even the soup. I prefer the Filipino style soup. It's not a popular dish with Filipinos. Vietnamese restaurants do not do well in the Philippines. I know in Balete, I saw a Vietnamese cafe headed over to James and Karen's house along the highway. And I've seen that Vietnamese cafe for like years now, 2, 3 years. I've never tried it. Again, because it's not, it's a different taste for us, Mom Janet. Vietnamese soup, the pho. It's a different taste from like, we Filipinos, most of us, we prefer the Filipino soup, bak choy. Bak choy, that's our thing. I mean, I can like drink bak choy soup, I can't do that with Vietnamese soup. They have parchment paper tamale wrappers. Okay, I'll just look. I'm gonna go there anyway. I got my SNR card here, my SNR gold card. I'll go there anyway tomorrow, JP. So if I see anything tamales, I love Mexican food, man. That's my favorite aisle. That's my favorite aisle in SNR. I like refried beans. I like different kind of beans. Salsa. I know I'm gonna get salsa. So. Remember, beans, good for your heart and more. Oh yeah, I love beans, man. I really enjoyed beans once I lived in Louisiana before for 4 years, and red beans and rice ever since I lived in Louisiana and left Louisiana. It's my favorite. Put some sausage in there, with the red beans and rice, man. That's like, I can eat that. I can eat that, man. The more you fart, the more you fart. Well, unfortunately, that comes with beans. Hey, Charlie Letts. Good morning, my good friend in Boston. Good friend in Boston. Game 3, right? Game 3 today. I think Boston and New York. But Game 3. Good luck, Charlie. It's like, I'm rooting for your Red Sox, man. I'm rooting for the Red Sox. I've never been a Yankee fan. I'm a Dodger fan. That's one of our rivals. Is they used to beat us up in the World Series back in the Reggie Jackson days. Sergeant, oh my, is saying that you're sorry to go. I know, I know. Hey, that's Karen. That's Karen's thing. I know. I always hear that. I know from Karen. My power. Oh, your power went out. All right, James. Gets very hot. The shower. Bad news. Low water pressure in the shower. That's part of the good and the bad. Okay, all right. That's why for us, like Leanna, what I do with Leanna, because Leanna, when in the morning, sometimes, when it's raining outside, the water is cold. For me, it's not, because I used to be a surfer, so I'm used to cold water. Cold water never bothered me. But for Leanna, in the morning, sometimes, she'll tell me, "Kuya, the water is cold." So what I do, like the hot pot where I heat my water for coffee, I'll heat her like a whole pot of hot water, and I mix it in a bucket with like cold water, and then she'll shower with that, with tabo. She uses tabo to shower. James and Karen on backup power now with the new battery. All right, James. All right. JP James, I think you are the tech wizard. Yes, I mean, he learned. James learned so much from Michael White during his. James and I, when we went to like Malumpati River, and we were trying, James was trying to figure out how to make the Starlink Mini work, and it was at the time he didn't got it down, but man, now James got the Starlink Mini down. He's done the live streams out in the middle of the ocean, and I know, Karen. Yeah, I always hear Karen say that. I know. JP, not really a tech wizard, but I'm learning. Yeah. He's got the Starlink Mini down. He's got that down. Oh, okay, good. James has tried that. I've never tried the Vietnamese cafe. So now that you say that it's awesome, I might have to try it. I do like. I'm not a fan on the soup. I'm not big on that, because, like I said, I like the Filipino soup, the bak choy, better. But I remember in Vietnamese, I like the spring roll that you wrap in lettuce. If they do that, man, I love that. And I like the Vietnamese spring roll. You wrap it in lettuce and you dip it in that like what is that, fish sauce, sweet fish sauce. You know, I can eat that if they got that. But I know Dazzle's not gonna be big on the. I had Leanna and Dazzle try the Vietnamese food in Calibo, that one restaurant that had it. They didn't like it. They didn't like it, so we never ate Vietnamese food again because they didn't like it. Karen's old school teach. Oh, all right, all right. Karen's old teacher owns it. All right, I'm gonna have to try it now. Yeah, since hopefully they got that lettuce wrap egg roll. You know, I do like that. I'll eat that. Her daughters. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Her daughters work in Vietnam. I get it. I get it now. I was always wondering about that, James, because like, you know, it's an odd place for a Vietnamese cafe, right? Out on the highway along Ballet, of all places. I could see Calibo, you know, to have like a Vietnamese because Calibo's bigger, but like out on the middle of the highway, it's like up right on top of the hill says Vietnamese cafe. I'm like, man, out of nowhere, it's like on the main highway in Ete, you got that Vietnamese cafe. I will check it out now. I'll check it out now for sure. Gino, I don't think I can peppers on the plane, but I know my sister will mail me some. Okay, well I'll check SNR I'll keep that in mind because I gotta go to that aisle anyway tomorrow. I gotta pick up some salsa, and I always like looking at that Mexican aisle in SNR because there's products in there that I haven't seen. So I will be looking for ingredients for tamales for sure. Charlie, matter of fact, Gino, I'm watching it right now. All right, good luck, man. Good luck with the Red Sox, man. Yes, game 3, tied game so far. Gonna be a good game. All right, I'm gonna have to pull it up here on my laptop, man. It's like I'm curious too. I'm curious too I'm curious with the Yankees, and the Red Sox. DJ, hey buddy, why don't you change this channel name to Coffee with Gino? Coffee with Gino. You are. Oh, thank you, DJ. I guess because people always have known 3.5 years now it's Dazzle TV, so I'll think about it. I like keeping it Dazzle just because it reminds me of my wife. It's we named the channel after Dazzle, so. You have a good energy. Keep smiling. All right, Christian. Thank you. I got a lot to smile about. It's like to me, I'm just thankful for my life. I have a good life here in the Philippines. I found a nice life here 14 years ago, and each day to me is a blessing. That's why for me, it's like it's not hard. It's not hard for me to smile. Not hard for me to live a good life. Dazzle the boss. Amen, brother. Dazzle is the boss, man. It's like Dazzle's always my priority. It's like that's why I try to do everything YouTube wise before she wakes up. I'll do my walk, I'll film the video, I'll do the live stream. But once Dazzle wakes up, I drop everything YouTube. My time is Dazzle's always my number one. She's like always the priority. Try Vietnamese coffee. I have tried Vietnamese coffee before. I do like it. I know how they do that cup thing. They do that cup thing. I'm sure I'll watch it now at the Vietnamese cafe in Balete. Ooh, beautiful garden too. All right. You got me sold. James. Next trip, we're gonna stop by there. Even for Vietnamese coffee and egg roll, I'll stop there just to try it out for sure. Southern Cal Benny, hi Gino. I think Vietnamese food are much healthier as they use more vegetables. Yes, I agree. Vietnamese food and Thai food, they are much healthier than Filipino food. I agree with that. Because Filipino food is mostly fried. Filipinos like to fry stuff. And even like raw salad, it's really not in the Filipino thing to eat a lot of raw salad. I miss that. I'm a raw salad kind of person. Green green salad, Caesar salad, you name it, spinach. Filipinos with vegetable dishes, it's cooked. It's like I cannot think of a Filipino dish that's not cooked. All Filipino dishes that I've been eating here, pinakbet, ginataang langka, mongo beans, everything I eat Filipino vegetable dish are cooked. I mean, nothing wrong with it. I love it. I love eating it. But I do miss like the crunchiness, like a lettuce. They are eating more. I know in Aklan province they are eating more lettuce, but lettuce is not cheap. You would think it would be cheap, but it's not. That's why a lot of restaurants in Calibo actually sometimes the salad is more expensive than the main dish because they have to maintain like salad expires. Salad doesn't stay fresh long, so if a restaurant offers a salad, it's a higher price. One of the higher price items on a menu, like my favorite place to eat salad now is Cafe Argon in Calibo. And that restaurant, big bowl of salad, they give you good for 2, 3 people, but it's more expensive than the main dish, because again, most Filipinos, it's not like in the typical diet of Filipinos to eat a lot of raw salad. A lot of vegetables, Filipinos like to cook it. The string beans, eggplant, anything. They like to cook it. That's why I agree. I agree with you, Vietnamese, because I've been to Thailand. I love Thailand. I love eating in Thailand. I love green papaya salad. They just have more fresh, uncooked vegetables when you go to Thailand. And then they don't fry so many things. In the Philippines, everything's fried chicken, fried fish, fried pork, everything's like fried. All the street food in the Philippines is fried. If you go out eating any kind of street food in the Philippines, majority of it is fried. So not healthy. Not healthy. The Filipino diet is not the healthiest thing. And then you throw in all the American McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, Kentucky Fried Chicken, all these new things that are added to like the Filipino diet. That's why Filipinos struggle with like high blood pressure. Filipinos struggle with like diabetes, because everything is sweet here in the Philippines. Even spaghetti here is sweet. It's like they put sugar or they put condensed milk in spaghetti here. The Jollibee spaghetti is sweet with hot dog. So to me, I still like the American style spaghetti. I buy like the tomato sauce. I'm the only one that ends up eating it at the house. Dazzle and Leanna, they prefer the Filipino style sweet spaghetti sauce. So I have a separate. Usually, I'll buy a bottle. Like I'll go to SNR and I'll get ragu, prego, or whatever. That's tomato sauce, and I just scoop it like a little bit at a time. And I buy Parmesan, shredded Parmesan cheese, fresh Parmesan cheese, and that's my spaghetti. I'm a big spaghetti fan. I love eating spaghetti. JP, James, I had Lilu Garden and Vietnamese Cafe saved on Google Maps to check out when I get there. Now it's a must see. All right, must see. All right, I'll take you there, GB. I'll take you there, and we'll meet up with James. We'll meet up with James. I love Thai food too. All right, all right. Like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that. Like their spring roll. You wrap it in like lettuce wrap, and you dip it on that like fish sauce kind of taste. Man, I can eat a lot of that. I like lettuce wraps anyway. Anything lettuce wraps, I'm a fan of lettuce wraps. All right, I got to the bottom. I'm kind of getting hungry, so I might have to look for something to eat. It's 9:06 now. So Dazzle. Oh, she's awake now. She's awake. I thought you were still sleeping. And I wanted. What's that?
I've been spying.
She's spying. Dazzle said she's been spying on me, and I do want to watch some of the baseball. I know. I'm curious about the Red Sox and Yankees now, so I'm going to watch the game now. Thank you all for joining the live stream. I really appreciate your time. Oh, Renz, good AM, good great AM. JP, good morning, Dazzle. Everybody's
Good
saying.
morning, JP.
She's awake now. Dazzle is awake. The sheriff is awake. The sheriff is awake. Bit rainy right now in Metro Manila. Let me pull up the blinds here and see if it's I don't see rain. Oh, no rain outside. Cloudy. It's cloudy outside, but no rain yet. No rain yet here in. I like how we have a window here, and I can actually nice view. Actually, I can see like the Jollibee sign, the Bundakan car wash. I can see condominiums on the left here. We actually have a nice view. We're on the third floor of the Hop In hotel. I like this better than the Fig Tree. Usually we stay at the Fig Tree Hotel right next door to the Hop In, but they don't have windows. You know, that's the weirdest thing in that hotel. Is like it's budget. It's a budget hotel, and the rooms there are smaller. Like almost half the size of our room here for the same price. So I think from now on, we'll just come here at the Hop In. We've been really impressed. We've been really impressed about the Hop In. And it's walking distance to SM City, Iloilo. We walked there yesterday. We didn't even take a taxi to go to SM City, Iloilo yesterday. Just walked over to the mall yesterday. Fortune, all right, Fortune, all right. Fortune in the house, Fortune in the house, good AM, all right. We're so close, Fortune, to that monument, Hop In Hotel. Not even 50 yards to that the chimney rotonda. You know, when I go outside the hotel, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at that chimney rotonda that makes that muscovado sugar a landmark. And then I did film yesterday when we were walking to the mall, that corner, that Donato Pison Street, and then Benigno Aquino Diversion Road. So I did film that sign. Film that sign yesterday. Good day, Michael C., James and Karen. All right, typhoon is passing northern Luzon. Yes, that's always kind of like the trajectory of most of the typhoons here. I would say 80 to 85% of typhoons in the Philippines is always like either Eastern Visayas, Samar or Leyte, Bicol region, Central Luzon, and majority of typhoons in the Philippines is like Northern Luzon, Cagayan, Ilocos Norte, Bataan, Batanes, Babuyan Islands. Usually those are the areas that a lot of typhoons here in the Philippines hit. Good day, Bon, Mom Janet, all right. Good day, JP, Daniel, Brents. Need to take note on Hop In Hotel. Yes, definitely. This Hop In Hotel, they opened not too long ago, I think less than a year. Everything is just nice and clean. Everything's new. Hot water works. I took a hot shower. Hot water works. So good pressure on the water. Even on the third floor, good pressure on the water. And inexpensive. 3 nights. We stay in here 3 nights. Total cost was 4,700 pesos, about $81 for 3 nights. All taxes, city taxes, hidden charges, all included. I paid 4,700. I paid it at 7-Eleven. And that's how I book here, man. I book at agoda.com. And then when I'm like ready to pay, I always select 7-Eleven. And it gives me a QR code, and I just go to 7-Eleven and pay them cash, you know, because I don't use, I don't have any more credit cards. I do have a debit card, but I don't give out my number, you know. It's like I pay everything cash or GCash, you know. Nothing's gonna get a hold of my debit card number. No website, no nothing's gonna get that from me. I'm just super careful when it comes to like that now. Too much theft online theft going on, so I have to be extra careful. Jay Barber. Oh, Jay Barber. All right, that's my barber, Jason. All right, Jason. I told Jason next time I get a haircut from him, he cuts my hair. Look at that high fade. That's my barber, Jason in Calibo. He works at Gems Barber Shop, second floor of the old Gaisano. Ask for Jason. He hooks it up, man. I like my fade. Every time Jason cuts my hair, Dazzle tells me I'm pogi.
Hey.
And thank you, Jason, for always giving me the pogi haircut. He's starting his channel. I told Jason I was gonna help him with his YouTube channel. He does good videos on Facebook, and I told Jason he should focus more on YouTube because it's hard to make money on Facebook. Easier to make money, easier to get 500 subscribers and the hours in doing it on YouTube. So I'll help Jason. I told him we need to change his YouTube handle because his YouTube name is Jay's Barber 05. I told him we need to change it to something catchy, like the Pogi Barber or something like that. So we'll come up with a name. I told him next time I see him, next time he cuts my hair, I'll edit. I'll work with him with the YouTube studio. I'll film it so I can introduce you to Jason. Good guy, good family guy. He's married. He's got a little kid. I'm gonna promote him. I like him. Jason's a good guy, man. Jason's a cool dude, man. Shout out, Jason. Good day, Michael W. Vaughn. Hey, Fortune. Nice, Ginno. All right, James. Go. All right, James. Go live after. I'll check it. I'll check it out. I'll go to James and Karen's live stream too. All right. Okay. Cool. Hit like. All right. Good morning, sir. All right, Vaughn. All right, Jay's Cuts. All right, Jay's Cuts. That's a catchy name, Vaughn. We'll come up with a name for Jason on Jay's Cuts from Panay. All right, Bakersfield. All right, we will help. I like Jason. He's a good guy, young guy, young family guy. And it's like I always kind of root for those people. I know it's not hard raising a family here in the Philippines. I know he's a barber. At least he's like he's doing his thing.
Did subscribe to Jay Barber na.
Oh yeah, Dazzle just subscribe. Dazzle just subscribe. All right, take care, everyone. Appreciate everybody's time. Have a good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining the live stream, and everybody stay blessed, everyone.